Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session that was created for a client that had a habit of checking on where their partner was, and they would make constant checks to find out where they were and what they were doing. And it was evident that this was a pattern that was less about actually knowing the truth of what was happening with their partner, and more to meet a need of excitement, drama, to kind of piece the different clues together and try and figure out what was actually happening. So in this particular hypnosis session, you're going to hear a various metaphor and direct suggestions so that that need of drama, but also human connection, can be met in a more elegant way. The particular client I was working with was going through quite serious health conditions, and this pursuit of constantly checking was actually causing a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, which wasn't conducive to the overall health and well-being that they were going through anyway. So this is looking at a way of evaluating what's really important, and to make the quest of finding what's actually going to meet those needs in a more elegant way the latest problem to solve. And by finding the solution to that problem, it actually solves many problems at exactly the same time. It gives a sense of purpose. It gives a sense of breaking a pattern, which is quite destructive. And it also, if it elegantly meets the need in a way without stress and conflict, then actually it could form new hobbies and new things that are quite satisfying for that individual anyway. I think a lot of people can get themselves into a trap of having quite righteous belief systems, which even if they're right, may not actually serve them. And the key thing is to evaluate what you're really doing, the thing that you're doing for. Is it because you want to get answers? Or is it because you quite enjoy the drama or the excitement or the conflict or the conversations or the intensity of communication that can take place? Once you figure out why you're doing these things, then it might be that you can meet that need in a much more effective way. So if you feel like you're addicted or have a habit of, let's say, behaviors that might be destructive to your own mental health, or perhaps destructive to friendships or relationships that you're in, then you might get some value from this session. Just be aware, of course, that it was created for a very specific individual with specific circumstances. And therefore, if you do feel that I might be able to help you in your particular situation, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a free consultation call to explore working with me. For now, though, you might find that this session is actually helpful. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a feeling of relaxation and resourcefulness. And on the outward breath, just close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, that's it. Close your eyes. That's it. Breathing in that feeling of resourcefulness and exhaling tension. And I want you to become aware of your environment. As you breathe in and breathe out, become aware of the temperature in the room. Become aware of the pace of your breathing. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to get a sense that you're breathing in a glowing energy of resourcefulness, and as you exhale, you're seeing a darker, grayer energy leave your body in your outward breath, representing the tension or the stress or the anxiety leaving your body. So simply by breathing in and breathing out, you're able to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. That's right. I want you to think of a place in nature, perhaps a beach, maybe a place you've been to many times. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that you're looking at a globe and you're spinning that globe around and you're stopping the globe at the location of that beach. And I want you to focus on that country, wherever it is in the world where that beach exists. And I want you to focus on that beach. Just picture the beach in your mind being on that location in the globe. And much like Mary Poppins jumping into a picture, I want you to imagine jumping into that spinning globe in front of you and arriving into that beach. And I want you to feel how good it feels to be on that beach. Breathing in and breathing out, and just feeling so relaxed there on that beach. Hear the gentle breaking of the waves. Get a sense of the sun on your skin as you breathe in and breathe out. Notice this wonderful feeling of calm and relaxation that washes over you there on that beach. And I want you to imagine there you are lying on the beach, maybe on a lounger or a towel, breathing in, breathing out. And I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and I want you to imagine that you're falling asleep there on that beach. Breathing in and breathing out. 5, becoming more and more relaxed. 4, eyelids getting heavier and heavier. 3, just feeling so relaxed on that beach. 2, and then 1. And then I want you to imagine that you've fallen asleep there on that beach, and that you're now inside a dream. But in the dream, you're on the same beach. And on that beach, you're seeing that version of you fast asleep. And I want you to imagine picking up your hand, feeling it all limp and loose, and then dropping it down and getting a sense that there you are on that beach. And I want you to imagine walking away from that version of you that's clearly asleep on that beach, walking down the beach, and suddenly, out of nowhere, you see a door. And the door doesn't even need to be connected to a building. You're just seeing a door randomly floating on that beach. And I want you to accept the idea that this door is going to take you into your own private cinema. And I want you to imagine standing in front of that door, or maybe it's a wood door or a metal door, but I want you to imagine you're standing in front of that door, feeling relaxed, feeling comfortable there on that beach. And I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and you're going to imagine opening the door and walking through the door into your own private cinema. Starting to count. 1, putting your hand on the handle. 2, opening the door. 3, walking through the door. 4, closing the door behind you. And then 5, suddenly there you are in your own private cinema. And it feels good and relaxing. And I want you to choose the most comfortable seat in the entire cinema. Make yourself comfortable in that chair. and notice that the screen is completely blank. Breathe in and breathe out, and just get a sense of feeling so deeply relaxed there in that cinema. But I want you to see on the screen in front of you, I want you to see a future version of you where nothing changes. I want you to imagine seeing that future version of you where there's constant checking, constant anxiety, a need for reassurance that isn't being met. But I want you to imagine observing you as if you're seeing yourself like you're an actor on a screen. Imagine seeing what could be the next few weeks and months and even years, and see what that behavior, that addiction to constantly checking, constantly feeling a need to have reassurance but not get that reassurance, I want you to see what it's doing to your health. I want you to see that health being impacted by this constant need that isn't being fulfilled. And I want you to see in that future that if it was the need for truth, this isn't the most effective way to find that truth. There are better ways to find that truth. And if it was for reassurance, I want you to see that future and notice that it doesn't work. It never actually gives you the reassurance that you're looking for. Breathe in and breathe out and just see where that future ends. A constant chase to find something but never get it. To look for something and never receive it. Meanwhile, feeling more stressed and more anxious as the years go by. But I wonder what would happen if we looked at a different reality. I want you to imagine rewinding that all the way back to a time in your life where you felt confident in yourself, where you knew you were worthy, intelligent, that you had lots to offer. I want you to imagine seeing a younger version of you on that screen where you had all of the resources that could help you right now. See that younger version of you and see how you look, how you smile, see how you breathe and how you move. And then I want you to get a sense that you're walking into that version of you. Just imagine floating up from the chair, going into the screen, and getting a wonderful sense of reconnecting with that version of you that had all of those wonderful resources. Maybe confidence, maybe self-belief, maybe a feeling of health and vitality. Just connect to that wonderful feeling of feeling resourceful. And then I want you to imagine to zoom back out of the screen into that cinema. And then imagine seeing the present version of you on the screen taking a different path. A path not to find truth and not to find reassurance. I want you to see a resourceful you seeking what you've been looking for all the time. I want you to see that future version of you getting a source of human connection. Maybe you see yourself singing with other people. Maybe you see yourself connecting with other people online. Maybe you see that version of you feeling part of a community that is doing something meaningful and fulfilling that makes you feel good. And I want you to see that future version of you doing that. But also that future version of you is perhaps doing something else that meets your need for excitement and drama, to solve problems, to piece clues together and link them all together. I want you to see that future version of you looking happier and healthier, doing something that feels stimulating, something that captures your imagination, that keeps your attention. And I want you to see that not only is that future version of you getting healthier and happier, but also that all personal relationships are improving as well. I want you to see that future version of you perhaps a year or 2 years from now. See you healthy, with new friends, new hobbies, things that give you a deep feeling of human connection and purpose and significance, and really connect to that. And then again, float up from the chair into the screen and feel what it would be like to be that future version of you. Happy, significant, but also healthy. Feel how healthy you are in that future version of you. And it feels good to feel that healthy. Connect into that and know that that is not a possibility and not a probability, but a destiny for you. Connect to that destiny being your future. Connect to that feeling of happiness, fulfillment, that you are important and significant. Tap into that feeling and then jump back into that chair in the cinema, feeling that you still have those resources with you, that you are optimistic about the future, that you are now on a quest to find human connection and drama and excitement in real ways, not this way that's been causing problems for you, but also problems for other people. Take hold of that quest and that confidence and that resourcefulness, and then decide it's now time to leave the cinema. And as you leave the cinema, you go through a door and find yourself back out on a beach. But you take those feelings of resourcefulness with you, there on the beach with the sun on your face, hearing the gentle breaking of the waves. And then as you walk down the beach, I want you to see someone that looks remarkably like you, fast asleep there on the beach. And notice that perhaps that was your conscious mind, your analytical mind, being asleep all this time. And I want you to get a sense of it's now time to reconnect, to take these resources into the real version of you. And imagine stepping into that version of you. So you are now one, still on the beach, but then realizing that the beach is just an idea you had when you looked at the globe. And imagine you're now standing, looking at that globe, seeing the same country where the same beach was, but still taking all of those resources with you, feeling that you're closer to the present, but not quite in reality yet. As you breathe in and breathe out, you realize you've been on a journey in your imagination where things and ideas have given you new perspectives and ideas, but also access new resources and new ways of thinking, a new way to solve a problem in a new way that makes your life more fulfilling and your future brighter and more optimistic. Tap into that idea. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And just get a sense that it's now time to return to the present, to your reality, accepting that this journey is just thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams, and now it's time to return to the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, really connecting with being fully in this moment, fully in the present right now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, confident, and feeling inspired to take a new quest and a new path in life where the future becomes immeasurably better than the present. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.